This week we have a lot of kale and lettuce and greens coming out of the garden, but I haven't really cooked yet with the kale, so I thought I'd just use the kale and make a twit salad with tahini dressing and chickpeas. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna harvest my kale, and you can see I have some dino kale here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the outer leaves for this particular plant. You can harvest the whole thing, but I'm just going to take some because I want to have some later on. But I'm just going through my plants and just taking these outer leaves to harvest. And I'm just going to kind of pull them off today. So I also have some dwarf blue curl kale, and I'm going to do more or less the same thing. Just take the outer leaves. And once this is done, I'm going to go back inside and start making the salad. So I've already rinsed off the kale, but just to make sure it's really, I want to wash it one more time. So I'm just gonna get it and devein it, cut it up, and then give it just one more wash and put it in the salad spinner. As you can see here, I'm just taking these main veins out. Kind of tough and don't really want to eat them. Knife, but it's just as easy coming out with my hands right now. Then I'll put those aside and put them in the compost later on. So go ahead and grab a knife. Yeah, I'm gonna grab this knife and just do a quick chop. Go ahead and chop this up. I kind of like the dwarf blue just because it does get little bits of texture, but I've never really tried the dino kale before this year, but it could be fun to mix them. I have already rinsed off a lot of the kale, but I just want to wash it one more time just to make sure it's clean. Go ahead and put them in the salad spinner. I already filled it up and it's got a lot of water. Just running through the salad spinner right now. We're done in the salad spinner and that can be set aside now. Before I put away my cutting board, I'm also going to chop up some of this red onion, which we won't need all of this, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut it up anyways, and I'll use it for something else during the week. The red onion provides a nice contrast to the kale and the chickpeas and brightens things up both flavor-wise and color-wise. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cook my chickpeas, and you don't necessarily have to cook them. They're already cooked in the can, and sometimes I'll even just grab it and snack on them. They're pretty fine to add to the salad like that. I just kind of like the contrast of the hot chickpea next to the kale and the tahini dressing. But I'm going to go ahead and heat up the pan, and I'm going to put them in there and put some spices on them, and they're going to turn out really nice. I think this would also make a really good wrap with just some cheese and lettuce and tahini dressing on just a wrap. Heating the oil, I'm just using avocado oil today, but it doesn't really matter. Once it's hot, go ahead and add these in. And then to these, I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic powder and then some salt and some pepper. Here's the salt. Here's the pepper. I'm actually going to add a little bit of chili powder. Well, it's not really chili powder. It's like kind of dehydrated peppers that I made last year and ground up, but it's got a nice kick to it, but I like a little bit of spice. I'm going to add that too. I think these are about done. They don't really need to be but they should just a little crispier than they were and take some of those flavors from the seasonings that we put on it. But I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the pan. I'm going to go ahead and mix up the tahini dressing next. I didn't really try tahini until the past years, but now I'm obsessed with it. I put it on the things like bowls, like salads, but very excited to have some today. First thing we're going to do is get a quarter cup of tahini. The thing we're going to do is get a quarter cup of tahini, and I'm going to go ahead and stir it. You probably can't really see, but it does separate a bit in the jar. But I'm going to go ahead and measure out a quarter cup. Next thing I need is 3 tablespoons of water. I'm going to go ahead and slice up a fresh lemon. I've been really into having fresh lemons lately. But this one's a little bit on the older end, but it does seem to just have a touch of freshness in everyday cooking. But I'm going to go ahead and squeeze out this juice into here. I'm only going to use about half of this lemon today. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Spoon of sesame oil, spoon of sea salt. Go ahead and grate in a garlic clove. I really do not enjoy peeling or cutting garlic, but today it just seemed the right thing to do. Normally I freeze a bunch of garlic, like the food processor trick to put it into small everyday servings, like add things, but for this application it doesn't really make sense to do that and have just a frozen bunch of garlic in there. But I'm gonna go ahead and grate this up into here. It's ready to stir. I'm gonna take a taste test. Actually needs a little bit more lemon. So I'm gonna stir it in and taste test. This salad together, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of my kale, the kale on the plate. I'm gonna grab some of this dressing, and this is a little bit different than doing salad because you wanna really massage the dressing into the kale. So I'm actually gonna take my hands and just rub it in there and make sure that it's really on there. And add my chickpeas, add my red onions, add a little bit more dressing just to chop it up. I can never have enough dressing. Also gonna add just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. This is my finished salad. I'm gonna go ahead and try this. I did the perfect bite. The tahini pairs with the kale. I've made a few more chickpeas, but always room for improvement. If you have any spring salads that you like to make, I'd really like to know. Please leave them in the comments and let me know so I can try them. Thanks for watching.